show you a quick example about how I would analyze the data that we have shared for you so far. I do want to point out something. The data that I'm going to be showing to you is all dummy data. I changed the data in a way that it was going to be more dramatic. So I am completely aware that maybe the data that you have is not going to be as juicy, to say something, as the one that I'm going to be showing to you. But I think even if your data is just pretty gray or pretty straightforward, or it always looks the same, I think even if that is the case, it is still it is worth the effort to analyze it. Another thing that I want to mention is, if my face goes to a different direction, it's not because I'm not paying attention to you, it's just because I have two screens, so the webcam is something, it might look a lot like I'm not really paying attention, but I am. Okay. So my example, in this example, is going to be, I'm going to be a faculty member. My name is Jesus Rivas. You all know that. I am working, or I am teaching classes for the institutional research program. In my particular course, the one that I selected is the course name is Statistics 101. Okay, what I'm showing to you is one of the data sheets that we received. This is a success data sheet, and you can tell that by the color. Remember, orange is for success, green is for retention, blue is for headcount. The first thing that I think when I got this data, or when I got this report, the first thing that comes to mind was, wow, this is a lot of data. This is a lot of data. So let's start from the beginning, which is how the data sheet works, okay? So the first thing that I want to point out is that the content that I highlighted right now, those are the demographics groups that we are analyzing for, with our data. The legend or the information that we have at the top is just referencing or making reference to the term that we are talking about, meaning that the data that you have on screen, it belongs to Fall 18. The headers, that's just the data that we're providing to you. Remember, we provided to you different kinds of data. The first column, or the first group of columns, they provide information for one specific CRN. In this case, is my CRN for Fall 18, H17BD. That was just one CRN that I had. Then the second group of columns is course data, which means that all the classes for Statistics 101 that were offered for Fall 18, regardless of the faculty member, all those are combined into the second set of columns, okay? So that was just so that you can have a little more data, especially for the people that their classrooms or their classes, they don't have that many students. So it's always good to have a little more reference. Okay, the columns that I'm highlighting right now, they belong to the total number of students that were enrolled in my class, and also in the combination of everyone's classes. So you can see how I have, for my particular class, I had 70 students enrolled. And for example, if I look down, I can see how I had 40 female students enrolled, which represented 57% of my total class. On the other column, that is the same, but for all the classes combined. So in total, there were 450 students enrolled in the Statistics 101 classes, and say 44 students were African-American students, which represented 10% of the total number of students enrolled. The other columns that I'm highlighting now, those are the actual success rate numbers. Remember, success relates to the number of students that were able to complete my class successfully. In this case, for this particular project, we are calling success or successful students, we're calling that to students that were able to get an A, B, C, or D. There's a big discussion going on regarding if D should have been included, but for the purposes of the Faculty Institute, we included that one. But that's why I'm telling you the definition is just for this institute. There's still some discussions that need to happen to come up with the right definition for for San Diego Continuing Education in general. Also, if you belong to ESL or Child Development, the success rate, most likely there are no grades in your class. So instead of A, B, C, D, it would be just the fact that you got a course completion award at the end of the course. So this is just telling me, for example, going back to my class, out of 70 students that I had enrolled, 46 were able to get an A, B, C, or D, which means 66% 66% of my students were able to, be successful in my class.